Let's talk about Tristan Thompson and Khloe Kardashian. We've talked about these two before, but it's been reported that Tristan was seen disappearing into a bedroom with 3 women at a party and then coming out looking a little crazy, hair looking a little disheveled, and looking like, they weren't just in there watching TV, if you get my drift. And then after this news came out, of course he denies it, as he usually does. After this story was released, then it was reported that Khloe and Tristan broke up a few weeks ago. And how convenient is that, right? Because we know Khloe, she continues to make herself look like a fool for this guy. We don't know why she continues to stay with him, because he is definitely not one for settling down. He has allegedly kissed former best friend of her little sister, Kylie, the young woman named Jordan Woods, who went on to Red Table Talk and talked to Jada and apologized for everything that happened, even though she said that he kissed her. It wasn't like they were just sitting there making out with each other, and it happened by surprise. She really didn't expect it. And she took him back, but yet they didn't forgive Jordan as if she really needed to be forgiven, because she said, I apologize, but he did this to me. This wasn't something that I was expecting. It wasn't something that I even wanted. He just kissed me out of the blue and stuff like that. Not that it happens every day. We do know that people can make advances on people doing something like that, and it wasn't something that they asked for. It wasn't something that they put out there that they were wanting to have happen, and that's just kind of what it was. So she's gotten back with Tristan since that time, and she's 6 years older than him. Of course, there's nothing wrong with a woman being with a guy who is younger, but she just continues to make herself look like a fool for this guy. So of course, how convenient is it after this story comes out that Page 6 reports that they broke up a few weeks ago? And it said the source told them they're getting along, there is no drama, everything is amicable, and they're on the same page with co-parenting. Now, we already know that's not true. We already know that the Kardashians, they have their PR people on speed dial. When stuff like this comes out, then they have to spin the story. They have to put the story out there that they would prefer to have put out there versus someone else controlling the narrative. So that's exactly what's happening with the situation. So do you guys think that she's going to eventually get back with Tristan and get that other baby that she really desires to have? Because we know she wants to have another child. And just like her sisters who have other children besides the one, they have the kids with the same people. So she doesn't want to be, again, looking like the black sheep of the family, which she's already been portrayed to be before she started getting all the plastic surgery, to look more like them, as the ones who have a baby with someone else and then having 2 kids by 2 baby daddies, shall we say. So what do you guys think? Do you think that she's going to get back with Tristan so she can get another baby? And do you think that she put this story out there so that she can just control the narrative and not look like a continual, perpetual fool for Tristan Thompson? All right, so let's talk about Sabrina Peterson. She has alleged that TI has paid a security guard to take her out. And this is something that she proclaimed when she had a sit down with Jason Lee on Hollywood Unlocked. I watched the interview, and the entire interview, I know there are a lot of people who really don't feel it for this person, and they feel that she's clout chasing and she's lying and whatever. I've talked about this a little bit before, and I did say I feel like where there's smoke, there's fire, and this was when this initially came out, when she said that he held up a gun to her head, and this happened several years ago. And then after she said that, all these other people started coming out talking about things that really didn't even relate with what she said happened to her, but all of these alleged victims started coming out of the woodwork saying that T.I. and Tiny did this and they did that. So she had a sit-down interview with Jason Lee, and in that interview she shared that someone came to her and told her this. Like, the person said, yo, he paid me $25,000 to like push you off of a building, and I don't know why he didn't do it. Thank God he didn't, because we don't advocate violence. But do you think that she's lying about that? I don't know. I really listened to everything that she was saying in the interview, and yes, people lie. Yes, people can spin stories. There are some people who really are comfortable with saying things that are really not true. But I don't know why she would lie about that. I don't know why she would sit down in an interview and say all of these things that she said. She really seemed believable. She came across as very believable and credible to me, but that is just my opinion on the situation. But I really would love to know what you guys think about it, because I don't think she would sit and just say something like that about these people. Like, they could sue her for defamation. I mean, I don't know how she's going to prove it, because if she does indeed get sued for defamation or slander, and she cannot get the person who came to her and said these things to her to be a witness and testify that, yeah, this actually did happen, then how are you going to prove it? It's kind of like her word against that person's word, I guess it would say. But again, I don't know. She just feels like she doesn't have anything else to lose, and that's why she's just laying it all out there. But I don't know. They've already lost so much with the show that they had on VH1 that I believe has been canceled indefinitely. I don't really see them bringing that back, even though they haven't been charged. There are no, I don't know if there are any threats of any of these people suing them civilly, but I know that they're pushing for criminal charges, and that actually speaks a lot, and I do believe that has a lot to do with why they went ahead and just canceled the show indefinitely. But do you guys think she's lying about this? Let me know your thoughts about it. All right, Damon Dash, he is pretty pissed at JayZ right now. He tried to sell his shares of Rockefeller Records that he currently owns, and this past Friday, he was sued by the company's legal team, and he is being sued, they're saying, because he attempted to sell the Reasonable Doubt album as a non-fungible token that's known as an NFT. And an NFT, it's an asset that allows buyers to own the original piece of digital artwork or content. And in this situation, in this case, they're talking about JayZ's debut album. But Damon Dash, he's coming forward sharing that it's not true. That's not what he was trying to do. He actually offered to have his shares sold to JayZ, but JayZ offered a piss poor, offer that he was not going to accept. And he knew that, what JayZ was trying to buy it for, it really was a lowball deal. And so he did not accept it. And with that being said, he wasn't just trying to sell the album, the Reasonable Doubt album. He's trying to sell his shares of Rockefeller Records, which equals a third of the company. And he's just wanting to get out, but he wants to get out in a fair way. He's not just wanting to just give it up. And because he owns those shares, Damon Dash said, he was just going to take this into his own hands. And so he decided to try to sell his shares as an NFT. And so under the terms of the deal with the potential buyer, the buyer would buy my share of Rockefeller Records, and JayZ will have exclusive administration rights. That's what Damon Dash said. And because he felt that it's my third to sell, so I should be able to do with it as I choose, then what is actually wrong with that, right? And so he's claiming that the lawsuit is just nothing more than a scare tactic, and he's not backing down. He's not backing down off of it, and he has every intention on selling off his share of the company to the highest bidder. And in my opinion, I know if you're just a hardcore JayZ fan, then you're probably going to be on the side of JayZ in this situation. But unless he had a contract that said that he could only sell his shares of the company in a certain manner or to a certain individual, or he couldn't sell his shares, or, you know, something that prohibits him from doing that, then I don't really see what the problem is if he did not have a contract saying that he couldn't do that, if you get my drift. If he didn't have a contract that specifically said that he couldn't do that, then I don't really know what the problem is with that. And of course, if he had a contract that said that he couldn't sell his shares, or he could only sell his shares in a certain way or to a certain person, or it had to be approved, or, you know, whatever, then I don't really see what the problem is with it. So he shared a number of different things, and he just said that JayZ himself tried to buy my third, and it was a crackhead deal. He offered me like I was Pookie or something from New Jack City. So basically he's saying, you know, JayZ came with a lowball deal, treating me like I am worthless. I don't know any better. I'm hard up for cash. And so it's like, well, take this and go with it, and then I'll get what I want. So he said, you know, he's not surprised by what JayZ is doing. He said, it is the same game. It just seems like they are so mad if I get money. I don't know why, but why can't I sell my third to whoever I want, whenever I want? I don't have to ask. Jay don't want anybody to eat but himself. The real issue is he has to compromise a man's reputation for no reason. He thinks Rockefeller Records is his. It is ours. And he's doing all this on a Rockefeller's behalf. He's got only one man to eat syndrome, and everybody else got to work for him syndrome and kiss the ring, and we're going to mess up his reputation syndrome. If you look under the hood, it continues to happen. And look, he said a number of other things, and I kind of feel where he's coming from. I get it as a business owner myself, that you want to make sure that things are done appropriate and things are done the right way, but also it's like, if you're not hurting, then why not just do things in a way that's going to help the other person? If they really are not happy and they want to get out of it, then let them out of it. So I don't know. In this situation, without knowing the full details of the contract and the deal and all of that stuff, it is kind of making JayZ look like he's just trying to hold the ties and hold the control and the stake and, you know, and everything, and having Dame Dash look like he is beneath him. But that's just the way it's looking. But anyway, guys, you let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section. And all right, speaking of Rockefeller, let's talk about Kanye West. He's done something recently that we kind of already suspected that he would have done, and we're surprised that he actually hasn't already done it by now. But it's been reported that he has registered his Sunday services as a nonprofit organization with tax-exempt status. So basically, the biggest way that someone who is very popular, who has a following, who really, really, really wants to get to that bag, what is the best thing that you could do? Turn to supposedly the Lord, start a church, and, you know, get that tax-free money. Okay. We already knew this was coming, but it's been reported that he's registered the Sunday services as a nonprofit organization with tax-exempt status. So he's really going to be out here just rolling in the dough, because you have these people who, once they found out that Kanye West was really, you know, walking with Jesus and was out here doing the choirs and doing these pop-up shop church services on Sundays, and then he actually started doing the church tours where he was actually going to actual church buildings and sharing his choir with the people, and all of these people who want to be in the mix and who want to follow the crowd. They're going to follow the crowd, and then when they follow the crowd, then their money is going to start following. So they were rolling in the donations. Okay, so we already knew that this was coming. So I mean, of course, he's not going to have his first lady, which that's what they call the wife of the pastor. I guess he's not going to really be a pastor, but I mean, essentially he kind of is. And this is going to be his way of getting in even more money. He's already been stated as a billionaire. So now he's, I guess, trying to get on Jeff Bezos status, where he can get a rocket ship and go to the moon if he feels like doing it, because he's just got so much money that he really doesn't know what else to do with it. So that's what he's doing, guys. He has registered this so that he can get that tax-free money and really make it rain. So are you guys surprised by this? Let me know your thoughts about it. Now, because of the status that he's filed for, we knew he ran for president before, which we already knew he didn't have a snowball's chance in hell of actually getting the nomination. But with this move, there's no way he can run for president again, because you can't do both of these at the same time. So with that being said, I guess we can rest assured that he is not going to be running for president in 2024. But honestly, this is a greater ruse anyway, a greater way of getting more money. There's no money in the presidency. It's really about the power and the access, which actually can just get you to more money. But this is definitely a better way for him to go to really rake in the dough. So you guys let me know your thoughts. Nick Cannon is allegedly having a 7th child with a different woman. And this woman looks similar to all of the other women that he has previously had children with. So it's being reported that a woman by the name of Alyssa Scott is allegedly his 7th baby mom, okay? And that this guy is just out here spreading the seed all over the world and pretty much doing it with a lot of women who look nothing like him. And look, I know they say variety is the spice of life and you're attracted to what you're attracted to and everyone has their preferences and all of that stuff. But I'm just being beautifully honest when I say that it really is a little bit laughable to me with somebody like this guy, because wasn't it just last year where he was, for a short moment, pretty much canceled by mainstream media because he said a lot of things that were seen as, you know, very controversial regarding the Jewish community and talking about just a lot of things that were very triggering for a lot of people. And he came across as very pro-black and, you know, wearing the turbans and all of that stuff. But yet you're out here having all of these kids with people who look nothing like you, and you're really not reproducing children that look much like you do or look much like your dad does. I mean, I'm just curious when I ask the question, and I really want to know what you guys think about it, because I'm not one of these people that really gets into people's relationships and the choices that they make, whether they're going to involve themselves with somebody of the same ethnicity or not, or whatever, because again, it is people's personal preferences and choices. But I'm just saying, it just makes you wonder. And it's almost like when Dr. Umar Johnson was on The Breakfast Club not very long ago, and he was talking about black men who are so quote unquote pro-black, but yet you are dating people or having children with people who really aren't, then what does that really say about you? So it's almost like Dr. Umar Johnson was specifically talking about Nick Cannon, because it was like he said those things and then now this is happening again. So I just really want to know what you guys think about that. Let me know your thoughts about what Dr. Umar Johnson said. I'm not going to play the clips of it, and if you haven't watched it, then you can go to The Breakfast Club and see his interview over there. It's already got like over 4 million views, so a lot of people have watched it. So I'm assuming that some of you who are listening to this, you're one of those that have listened to that interview, and it was an actually really good interview. I know Dr. Umar Johnson is extremely controversial, and he's got, you know, a little bit of scandal with some different things, especially with the school and things like that. But you can't deny that the man is smart. He definitely knows a lot of things. It's just sometimes some people go beyond their scope of what they're capable of, and then it causes you to get into a bit of controversy. But I just really want to know what you guys think about Nick Cannon having another child with another woman, one that he's not even married to. So again, there's that. He's out here spreading the seed, not married to these people, And again, the women that he are having these babies with, they look nothing like him, if you get my drifts. So let me know your thoughts about that.